Good morning, everyone. So today, I, Tushar Aggarwal, your Informatics Practices teacher, is here with the unit, that is your unit number 3, Introduction to Computer Networks. Friends, this has been introduced newly into your syllabus. In computer network, first we have to understand what is a network. So let me show you, these are some typical things which are related to your network topology, data, computer, router, wireless, security, interface, information, nodes, traffic, architecture, connection, communication, devices, protocols, switch, cables. There are so many things which we have heard of in terms of a network. Now, what are the various components of a network? First, cables and connectors through which we can connect. Then there are routers, modems, switches, hubs, and NIC, that is National Interface Card. Now friends, what we think of networking? What are the advantages of networking? Look, in this picture I have shown you that a person is sitting at a place and looking at them, interacting with the various people, and can check what they are doing and what they are not doing. So let us understand what do you mean by the term computer network. Now computer network can be suggested as a collection of computing devices that are connected in different ways in order to communicate and share resources. Now there are two things come here. First one is communicate and share resources. Friends, I want to give an example of sharing the resources here. Now if you have 20 computers, you have to implement 20 PCs. Now first we should understand what is a computer network. Now as I discussed, computer network can be considered as a collection of computing devices that are connected in various ways. Usually the connections between computers in a network are made using physical wires or cables, as you have seen at your labs, at your schools. However, some connections are wireless, such as your infrared, your radio waves, your Wi-Fi's. So now let me again tell you, in another language, a computer network is a set of nodes like computers and networking devices that are connected through communication for the purpose of sharing the resources and communication among the users. Now there is a term called nodes. Individual computer or connecting devices are known as nodes. Now what are the basic benefits of computer network? It facilitates communication through email, video conferencing, instant messaging, or any other mode. Like if I will take today's scenario, due to lockdown, we are not able to join schools. So we are studying over internet through these videos, and I am uploading on the videos and you are getting the videos everywhere. So it is one of the methods that we have. The second method which we can say is share hardware devices like printer or scanner. I was stuck in an example called printer because printers are shared. Now if you have 20 computers, you need to bring their network, then you need to bring 20 printers. No, you need to have just 1 or 2 printers installed on the network. You will give command and your answer will be there. So 20 machines can go through one and only one printer, and that will serve the purpose of all. Enable file sharing. Now file sharing means that we can see the data of like 20 computers are there. We can access data from any PC, any files can be shared. This thing can be done at any time. Share software or operating systems, right? We can share various softwares and operating systems, share information, we can share different information. Now next is disadvantages of computer network: lack of robustness, security issue, cost of a network. These are 3 things which I want to discuss: lack of robustness, security issue, cost of network. Now first let me get to the cost of network. What is the cost of network? Might be big in some cases where we are dealing with the school, colleges, etc. Security issue, there are so many hackers today which can breach the security of a network. Robustness means quality, whether it will be good or bad, that depends upon the speed of the network, the quality of the network that we have. Now, the evolution of networking, how it has evoluted, means how it has been in the scenario. First, it is ARPANET. ARPANET is developed in US, that is known as Advanced Research Project Agency Network. In 1969, the US government formed an agency named ARPANET to connect computers at various universities and defense agencies. Friends, let me tell you about ARPANET network, why it is formed. It is formed from the defense services, as they have placed their soldiers far off. So the main objective of ARPANET was to develop a network that could connect various agencies, various universities, and could be efficiently in when nuclear attacks are there. Then there comes internet connection. Interconnection. Now, inter means within the whole of the area. The internet is a worldwide network of computer network. It is owned by anybody. The internet has evolved from the ARPANET. It is the successor of ARPANET. The internet is a globally connected network system that utilizes TCP/ICP to transmit information. Now, today internet is used all over. We are also studying in this lockdown from internet, online movies, gaming, data transfer. Internet forms social networking, online shopping, financial services, e-commerce, e-business, e-learning. These are the three main aspects I want to throw some light. You can study at home, you can study at any place, but you have internet access. You can shop online by sitting at your home. You can have look at the various brands. Now, next is interspace. This might be a new thing you have not studied. It is a client-server software that allows multiple users to communicate online with real-time audio, video, or text chat. For example, we can say an online test is called an interspace, that we have provided a client-server information. A software program that is time-based and real-time, it has to be completed, otherwise it will be cancelled. Now, I will throw a light on some data communication terminologies. Communication channel means the channel through which we are communicating, or it is known as transmission media. A communication channel is either a physical transmission medium such as a wire, or a logical transmission medium over a multiplexed medium. Means it can be through a physical wire, or it can be wireless, such as radio communication and telecommunication and computer networking. Now, friends, always you used to term that the bandwidth is not exceptional, bandwidth is not that. Now, what is a bandwidth? The amount of data that can be transferred from one point to another point. It is a measure of range of frequencies. Now, frequencies a transmitted signal occupies. It means bandwidth is the measure of range, means from that point to that point, how much frequency is required to transmit a signal. In digital systems, bandwidth is the data speed in bits per second. What is bandwidth? Bandwidth is the data bits per second. In analog system, bandwidth is measured in terms of difference between highest frequency signal and the lowest one. Highest minus lowest. Now, the bandwidth is expressed in hertz. Its SI unit is hertz, kilohertz, megahertz. The hertz is derived unit of frequency in international system of units, SI, and is defined as 1 cycle per second. It is named after Heinrich Rudolf Hertz, who discovered a frequency. Hertz are commonly expressed in multiples like kilohertz, megahertz, gigahertz. Okay, now DTR, data transfer rate, always we say, hamara itna MB per second hai, itna KB per second. Now what it is KB per second or MB per second? It is data transfer rate. Now data transfer is the amount of data in digital form that is moved from one place to another in a given time or allotted time on the network. Now there are various things like BPS, bits per second, kilobits per second, megabits per second, gigabits per second, terabits per second. Now, what is byte? Byte is equal to 8 bits. Now it is bytes per second, kilobytes per second, megabytes per second, gigabytes per second, terabytes per second. Now let me just come through various transmission media which we are having. Now, wired networks. Wired networks are also known as Ethernet networks. A wired network is simply a collection of two or more computer, printers or hardwares or other devices linked by cables or a form of wired media. Ethernet is the fastest wired protocol we have. It can have a speed of up to 10 megabytes per second to 100 megabytes per second. Computer must have an Ethernet adapter. So here is a small table. Now which cable we can use for signal form? We can use electricity, twisted pair electricity like this. Cost, your twisted pair is least, moderate and high. Speed, low, moderate and high. Ease of use, easy to install, professional install. Now friends, there are three types of cables that we are studying. First one is twisted pair, coaxial cable and fiber optics cable, right? Fiber optics are very costly as they can transmit at a rate of greater than 100 Gbps. Coaxial cables 100 Mbps and this around 10 Mbps to 10 Bps, right? So there are certain examples. This is the differences. Now you have to write down those differences in the form of a table in your notebook. Now what are wireless networks? Wireless networks use high frequency radio waves rather than wires to communicate. Wireless allows users for devices to be shared without networking cable. Means there is no need of physical cable to be connected to a device for sharing. Only we need is, what we need? We need is the Wi-Fi or the radio wave signals. Now next is infrared transmissions, short range communication. Infrared waves can travel from a few centimeters to few meters. Line of sight, infrared uses point-to-point communication. What transfer and receiver should be placed. Friends, before coming of the Bluetooth technology, infrared is there, but it has a very less bandwidth or connecting range. Now radio wave transmissions are act as long range communication. Radio waves can discover distances ranging from a few meters up to covering an entire city. It is omnidirectional. Radio waves are propagated in all directions, therefore sending and receiving antennas do not have to be aligned. So microwave radio, all these are you are just learning in your physics also. A form of radio transmission to point rather than a broadcast transmission system. Each antenna must be within the line sight of next antenna, frequency bands. Now satellite communication, friends, is very important. We are running our GPS system on satellite. We said it is connected to satellite. So there are two things, uplink and downlink. Now uplink means while we are uploading and downlink means when we are downloading. It provides worldwide coverage independent to population density. Satellite communication system offers satellite phones, GPS, that is global positioning and navigation systems. That is your maps that you are searching. It is connected to satellite, broadcasting and internet, mobile, TV, etc. It supports very long range communication with line sight. It cannot penetrate solid objects. It is very expensive. Now leave this. Okay. Now what are computer hardware devices? Hardware devices which are used to connect computer, printer or other devices are known as hardware devices of network devices. These devices transfer data in a fast, secure and correct way. Some devices are installed on the computer like your LAN card or NIC card. RJ45 connector might be, you have seen a white color jack on the LAN cable, that is RJ45 connector, whereas some parts of the network are like router and switches. So now let me discuss about microwave link versus optical fiber. Now friends, as I told you, optical fiber is the expensive one which is used for high data rate transmission, more than 100 Gbps. So from that you can think that what optical fibers are doing in future, the technology is dependent on optical fiber. Now let me throw some light on the difference between microwave link and the optical fiber. Now microwave, which is known as radio links, have been used by many companies for decades. Most of the cellular companies, your mobile companies, use microwave to connect their cell towers to their backhaul networks, right? Means देखिए microwave technology use होती है आपके phones के अंदर. For mobile operators, a reason using is not the speed. It is used to connect their remote suites even in the rural area, because microwave is faster and cheaper deployment. When more capacity or bandwidth is required, it means the fiber becomes more economical. Almost cost of the fiber deployment is laboring cost. Digging a trench and laying the fiber is खोदना पड़ता है और दबाना पड़ता है. Getting the required permissions from the landowners. There are so many formalities from the government, geographical things we have to see. So this is all from my side. Good morning, students. So today let us continue with the unit which we have started, that is Introduction to Computer Networks. Now friends, I told you yesterday what are computer networks. Interconnected devices or nodes, we can say, are known as computer networks. Now if I will talk about the networking, I will talk about these different things. Today we are going to study about devices. What about devices? Yes, there are various network devices like NIC cards, hub is there, switch is there, modems are there, routers are there. Okay, so we have to study what these means, what is the difference between these network devices, what is their usage, and all the certain aspects that a network device can have. Now next thing is, first of all, I will throw some light what are computer hardware devices or networking devices. Computer hardware devices which are used to connect computers, printers or any other electronic device to a network are called network devices. Means जो भी हमें component network पे connect करने के लिए काम में आता है वो हमारा network device होता है. These devices transfer data in a very fast rate, secure and correct manner with some or more different functionalities as of networks. Now some devices are installed onto the computer such as your LAN cards or NICs, RJ45 connectors. Now what are RJ45 connectors? As you have seen white pin over a LAN cable, that are RJ45 connectors. Now first let me discuss about the important thing, what is NIC card. As you can see there, this is a diagram of NIC card which you have seen, where you plug in your LAN cable, so-called LAN cable, into your computer. So this is through two methods, parallel data and serial data. Now this is serial one and this is parallel one. Okay, parallel one is this. Now let us read. This is at the top among networking devices and mostly used networking device. This is also known as network adapter card. It is also used as network adapter card or LAN card. Now it allows PC to communicate with other PCs. Now friends, might be you have learnt about remote logins, and it means if we are having NIC card, then we can have a single CPU and connect multiple nodes to it on multiple PCs. Now a PC uses parallel data transmission to transmit data between its internal parts, whereas the media that connects this PC is in serial. Now NIC converts parallel data stream into serial data stream or serial data stream into parallel data stream. Friends, might be you have seen that many PCs are connected through this. There is a port for many points. You can connect your keyboard, you can connect your mouse, you can connect your VGA cables. Now next is your RJ45 connector. Now RJ45 connector is a 8-wired connector that is used to connect computers, on a LAN, right? That is used to connect computers on a LAN, especially Ethernet. It is a 8-wired connector that is used to connect Ethernet, right? As you can see in the diagram, this is Ethernet. Now next thing is repeater. Friends, when these repeaters are used when we have to transmit our data over long transmissions. Now in a certain limitations, there are certain limitations that we can only transmit data up to a certain range. Now if we want to transmit data beyond that range, the signal will get distorted. It is a weak signal. So repeaters are networking devices which generates a signal and forwards its signals with more power. Means it will again just encapsulate the signal and forward it. Next one is modem. Modem is a short term for modulator, demodulator. It's an electronic device used to access the internet that modulates carrier waves. It means, I will tell you in a single thing, that multiple things comes to us. They are just made a single wave, entered into the device called modem, and then again demodulated, means many waves are created which will give interaction to the other computers or networking. So now let me read it out. Modem is a short term for modulator, demodulator. These might be you have studied in your science chapters. It is an electronic device used to access the internet that modulates carrier waves to encode information to be transmitted, and also demodulates incoming carrier waves to decode the information. Means it will encrypt your data and decrypt your data to receive the information. Modulation means digital to analog conversion, and demodulation means analog to digital conversion. So here we are using both the technologies, such as your analog and your digital. Now next is your hub. Now hub is used to connect multiple computers in a single LAN. Now hubs is used to connect multiple computers in a single LAN network. Generally they are available in number of ports as 4, 8, 12, 24, 48. So it means the number of ports are there, the number of computers or the machines we can connect. When a hub receives signal on its port, it receives the signal and forwards the signal from all ports except the port on which signal is arrived. मतलब जिस पे सिग्नल आ रहा है, जो कंप्यूटर सिग्नल दे रहा है, उसको छोड़ करके बाकी सबको वो सिग्नल प्रोवाइड करा देगा. In below diagram, leftmost nodes try to send signal to all the other three attached. Now there are two types of hubs based on their working. First one is passive hub. Passive hub does what? It only forwards the signal on all ports without amplifying the signal. It will not amplify your signal, it will directly send it to you. Now active hub, it forwards the signal with improvement in the quality, means it amplifies your signal and then send it to you. That's why such hubs are needed some additional power supplies. Now next is based on their port type. There are two types, Ethernet and combo. For Ethernet, RJ45 connectors are used. Now for combo, several connectors like RJ45, BNC, AUI are available as ports in such hub. Now coming to the switch, which is mostly used in today's scenario. Now switch is also used to connect multiple computers together in a LAN. Switches are available with like 4, 8, 12, 24, 48, 64 ports. Switch works make decisions by using applications called ASIC, application specific integrated circuits. Due to switching decision capability, switch sends signal to recipient only, and that's why switches are called intelligent hubs. Now in hubs, what we are doing, we are sending signals to all the three PCs. Now here signal will be sent to only one PC through which we can want to send. As you can see in diagram, the leftmost PC wants to send it to some PC, so only that PC, means the last PC will receive the signal. Now what are routers? Now routers are somewhat which provide us a data link layer, physical and network layers. Friends, there are such models called TCP/IP model and OSI model, Open Standard International Model, through in which 7 layers are defined. So router works is to choose the best path to send the signals. That how a message can be sent with better transmission rate, with better optimity to some receiver. It interconnects different networks. Now it is not about a single network. Router connects your multiple networks. To say we have to connect multiple LANs, so we will have the router. The simplest function of a router is to receive signals from one connected network and pass on them to the other connected network. Now router is very much important here. Next is gateway, a networking device capable to convert protocols, a networking device that is capable to convert protocols so that two different architecture based networks can communicate. Means there is certain protocol which allows only single protocol to work upon. Now if we have multiple different LANs or WANs or MANs or network of different architectures, then we can connect them together by converting the protocols. Now we will have a look at the differences between hub and switch. Now friends, as we have studied, now it will talk about OSI model. As OSI model is there, TCP/IP model is there. Now a hub works on the physical layer of OSI model. I told you that there are 7 layers in OSI model. Okay, while switch works on the data link layer. Both runs on different data packs or different layers. Switch is more efficient than hub. Yes, it is truly, because switch is known as intelligent hub. A switch can join multiple computers within a LAN, and hub just connects multiple Ethernet devices as a single segment. Now we have multiple Ethernet devices and we have multiple computers. Now our switch is connecting direct computers within a LAN, and it connects different Ethernet devices which we have to connect again. Switch is smarter than hub to determine the target of the forwarding data. This is very important. Now some packets or transmission in a hub is done to all the Ethernet devices connected to it, and now in turn Ethernet devices are connected to computers. Whereas in switch there is a direct completion of computers. So in computers we can connect, and only the computer to which the data is transmitted will receive the response. Others will not receive any kind of response. So that's why switch is known as intelligent hub, whereas a hub is cheaper than the switch. Now difference between switch and router. Now friends, difference lies in their working on the layer of OSI model. Now in the OSI model, the router is working on a higher level of network layer. Now in router works on the network layer rather than switch works on the data link layer. Router is different from the switch because it is used for routing packets. Packets are the messages that we use to forward on the networks. Now packets are the messages that we use to forward on the networks. It is also more intelligent and sophisticated to serve as an intermediate destination to connect multiple area networks together. Now switch connects multiple computers over a single LAN, whereas router connects multiple, for example say LANs or different architectures to a single place. A switch is only used for wired networks, whereas routers are used for wireless networks like your Wi-Fi. We say routers. So from different architectures we can merge them. With much more functions, a router definitely costs much higher than a switch. Now next is routers versus gateway. Now gateway regulates traffic between two dissimilar, means there is no identical networks, whereas identical networks are there. A router is a hardware device that forward data in the form of packets between computer networks. Now router perform the traffic directing functions, means it will route the direct traffic from one place to another. Now there are 2 points: connection in one network with router. For example, there are 30 computers considered in a network. All these computers communicate with each other. In this situation, no gateway is needed, because a router can solve the purpose by defining the hops within 30 computers is enough. Now we have to set up our communication between two gateways, between two different networks called gateways. Now on the other hand, we suppose that there are two networks. There is network A and network B with different architectures. Now what gateway does? We need to connect them. Then the gateway does to convert the architecture into one and take from other. So there is need to have both a gateway A and a gateway B, so that both the networks must be able to communicate. So this is the basic difference between router and gateways. Now moving forward with the Wi-Fi cards. Now friends, Wi-Fi is mostly used all over the world. First of all, what does Wi-Fi stands for? Wi-Fi stands for wireless fidelity. So in the PCs or in the machines where there are no Wi-Fi, we can install Wi-Fi cards and let our computer connect to the internet on a wireless network. Now what are Wi-Fi cards? Wi-Fi cards are the small and portable cards that allow your computer to connect to the internet through a wireless network. Right, this thing I told you, Wi-Fi transmission is through the radio waves. Now radio waves are used for Wi-Fi transmission. These signals are picked up by Wi-Fi receivers such as computers, cell phones equipped with Wi-Fi cards. Now our PCs or laptops or mobile phones are equipped with these cards by default. Right, once a connection is established between user and the network, the user is prompted with a login screen and password for establishing a secure connection. Now it is up to the authenticator whether it will give the authentication or not. Wi-Fi cards can be external or internal. So Friends, we will meet for the next part.